FTC's top official warns Tim Cook that Apple could be guilty of violating the FTC Act. The United Nations sends a letter of congratulations to the Islamic regime in Iran. An annual LGBT event at Disney World presses pause after losing sponsors. And while some athletes use the world stage to criticize the U.S., an Air Force member and Olympian says she's honored to represent her nation at the Games. We'll get into all of that in your quick hits now. What's up, guys? Welcome to the wrap-up, where we break down the biggest stories of the week that you might have missed but need to know. I'm your host, Erin. First up, Federal Trade Commission Chairman Andrew Ferguson sent a letter to Apple CEO Tim Cook concerning allegations that Apple News has been systemically promoting left-wing news outlets over conservative ones. Ferguson posted the letter on X, which noted that under Section 5 of the FTC Act, deceptive acts or practices are prohibited. In the letter, Ferguson stated, quote, "The First Amendment protects the speech of big tech firms, but the First Amendment has never extended its protection to material misrepresentations made to consumers, nor does it immunize speakers from conduct that Congress has deemed unfair under the FTC Act." Earlier this month, the conservative watchdog Media Research Center released a report that analyzed 620 stories featured in Apple News Top 20 articles in January. Vice President of MRC, Dan Schneider, noted that Apple News editors personally select which stories are chosen. The report found that among the hundreds of stories, not a single one came from a right-leaning media outlet. After the Trump administration took office last year, Ferguson launched an investigation into tech censorship to uncover how big tech firms may have violated the law by intimidating Americans into silence. In our next story, the United Nations proved why it's widely distrusted by congratulating Iran's regime on the 47th anniversary of the Islamic Revolution. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres sent a letter to President Masoud Pezeshkian offering, quote, "warmest congratulations on Iran's National Day." Iran's state media eagerly promoted the message as an international endorsement of the Islamic Republic. Critics argue this highlights the corruption of the UN, as this is the same regime that has killed thousands of protesters in recent crackdowns, executed political prisoners by the thousands in the 1980s, and used torture and show trials to stomp out dissent. The Islamic regime has also enforced strict Sharia law, categorizing women as second-class citizens under the threat of violence for defying hijab rules. And the mass repression has continued under the current leadership. Iranians risk their lives in ongoing protests against the regime, and for many, the UN's letter lands as a tone-deaf praise for one of the world's most oppressive governments. Orlando's annual LGBT event, Gay Days, which is usually held at Walt Disney World, has been paused for 2026 after losing sponsors. The 2026 event has advertised, quote, returning favorites like Drag Bingo, Porn Bingo, the Mr. Gay Days leather competition, the Miss Gay Days pageant, and the legendary Puppy Mosh. Event organizers said in a post on Instagram, quote, "After careful consideration, we have made the difficult decision to pause the Gay Days Orlando event scheduled for June 2026. Although the event is not directly associated with Disney World or the company, Disney has been slammed in recent years for using its movies to push LGBTQ activist content on kids, as well as in its theme parks." Next up, Team USA bobsledder Jasmine Jones says she feels deeply honored to represent her country and the U.S. Air Force simultaneously at the Winter Olympics. In an interview with Fox News, Jones, who serves in the Air Force, explained how few people get to represent their country by serving in the U.S. military and as a U.S. Olympic athlete.
Being able to represent my country, and as well as being an athlete for my country, it definitely brings a different meaning and a different caliber. I feel like there's so few people that do both at the same time, and I'm honored to have this opportunity to represent both.
After narrowly falling short of qualifying for the 2022 Games in Beijing, Jones joined the Air Force, which gave her the opportunity to participate in the world-class athlete program. Jones' patriotic comments come as freestyle skiers for Team USA, Chris Lillis and Hunter Hess, attempted to distance themselves from the current administration. When asked about representing the U.S., Hess had this to say.
brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S.
Despite some taking the opportunity to criticize, other Team USA athletes chose to show gratitude. Hockey player Brady Tkachuk said, quote, "Being able to represent the U.S. at this stage in the Olympics is one of the greatest honors." And now it's time for quick hits. After a long battle with cancer, James Van Der Beek, famous for his role in the 1990s teen drama Dawson's Creek, passed away at 48. His wife Kimberly announced the news saying, quote, "He met his final days with courage, faith, and grace." New data shows that the private sector hiring is exceeding forecasts, with 172,000 private sector jobs added in January, while cutting 42,000 government positions. Also, the new numbers show a rise in wages, and federal payrolls are shrinking to some of the lowest levels since the 1960s. An Atlanta-based progressive church is offering what it calls glitter ashes for Ash Wednesday this year, a ritual it says is meant to show remorse for its claims of Christian cruelty toward the LGBT community. Former Miss North Florida Kaylee Bush revealed in an interview that she was unceremoniously decrowned in 2024 for criticizing the pageant's confusion on the definition of woman. After changing its policy, the pageant asked Bush to sign a new contract and not to criticize its trans policy, which she refused. The City of Evanston, Illinois Reparations Committee will issue $25,000 in reparation payments to 44 Black residents or descendants of Black residents who lived in Evanston between 1919 and 1969. CNN is facing a severe decline, with its primetime viewership shrinking by nearly 2/3 over the past decade. This dramatic drop from about 1.3 million viewers in 2016 to just 553,000 today has sparked speculation that the network may be sold. That's a wrap for this week. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us what you thought about these stories. And we'll see you back here next week on The Wrap Up. Thank you so much for watching this video. In order to keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation today.